Hi, guys. I want to first apologize for getting this weekend update to you before, like a day late. I guess it's not really late because it's still the weekend. But I like to give you guys a little bit of leeway to get to the energy for each day. So that's why I always publish it the day before. Um, but I think that you can probably understand why with that new moon in Aquarius and just having that dark moon all day yesterday and having the dark moon all day today. The dark moon is the new moon, and it was co present with Pluto for the first time in 250 years. And we had Mercury ingress Aquarius. And now this week coming up, we'll have Mars ingress Aquarius. And then we will following have Venus ingress Aquarius. And so this week is going to be really interesting and probably filled with a lot of aggression. And I'm going to talk with you guys about that on, daily as we get through, but we're going to try and weave it all together. So before I get too far ahead of myself for the week, I'm still healing. My mouth is still healing from some teeth I had to have pulled. We're reconstructing my mouth because this cancer has just like destroyed my bones, right, in my mouth. So, and your teeth are bones. So we're reconstructing my mouth, and I'm still being really gentle while I'm talking. It's so weird, you guys. Like when you get your teeth pulled and it's connected to your sinuses and it starts to heal, when you talk, the vibration of your voice reverberates in that empty space. And it's the weirdest, insane, like I feel insane. I feel like there's insanity going on in my mouth some days because it's so weird. So I'm really trying not to talk a lot. That's why I haven't been able to do any of the zodiac readings to finish off February. Is it my plan to do? I would love to be able to finish the zodiac readings for February. I'm still planning on doing that, and I'm still planning on doing the mid-month readings for Patreon. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know, because sometimes the best laid plans, best made plans, like don't actually happen for you. So, um, I think I'm just asking for some patience from everybody and some understanding about that. And I think that we all really need that now in a big way. This weekend is kind of emotional as we get ingress into the Pisces moon. So you have this dark moon in Aquarius, and then just a few hours ago, the moon ingress to Pisces. So here we are. This was about 11 a.m. This morning Mountain Time, so like noon is where we're at now in the chart. So you can see that the moon is in Pisces and will be making a conjunction with Saturn later on in the day today. And with this dark moon energy and conjoining Saturn, and then we're going to have a sextile to Jupiter also a little later on this evening. At the same time, we'll have Mercury square Jupiter all day today. So having this dark moon in Pisces conjoining Saturn can really make things feel a little melancholy, a lot melancholy. There's a lot that I feel like humanity is going through right now, and on an individual basis, everybody's going through some things too. So we really need to have a lot of compassion for each other. I have had to enforce my own boundaries with people that I love, even like people that I love dearly, because I think that there's a lot of there's so much heartache and so much pain that's happening that everybody sort of needs some attention, some kind of attention. And if you're not giving yourself enough attention, like say you're distracting yourself through working a little bit too much or distracting yourself in other ways. You may be wanting to grab the attention of other people to distract yourself as well, just sort of depending on what phase of life you're in right now. And if you feel that pull to distract yourself, if you feel that pull to do things where you're taking the focus off of spending time with yourself and you're taking the focus off of what it is that you actually need to deal with, what you actually need to be paying attention to in order to heal and anchor your own self in this world. Um, it's not selfish to take the time away. You know, I saw a meme the other day, and I think I even said this, months ago after, seeing this a couple of times, but fasting, you know how everybody fasts, and sometimes I unintentionally fast. I'm not really an intentional faster. I don't fast intentionally. My body just does it when it wants to, when it feels like it needs to have a little bit of cleansing. My body will fast on its own. And so I don't really set intentions to fast. But the funny thing is I don't really set intentions to meditate or connect to spirit either. And it just sort of happens. Like I'm kind of just this open vortex of energy all the time that where like my soul is intending to do things and I'm just along for the ride is really the way that this goes for me. um but fasting for your body can be really healthy for a lot of people, not for everyone, but fasting can be really good. And you can do juice fasts, and you can do all sorts of different fasts. So even if you have that problem with like blood sugar and stuff, like there are different ways that you can fast. I like to do like liquid fast, like where I'm only doing like chicken broth and beef broth and coconut water and keeping my electrolytes up and stuff like that. But it's giving my digestive system time to like stop working so hard and like stop doing all of the things that you have to to break down all the foods and stuff, right? So I like to give my body a break on digesting food sometimes. And that also really helps to like clear out my liver and clear out my kidneys from all the medications that I take when I do those fasts. Well, food is probably not the only thing that we can fast from. We can also fast from people. And it is absolutely necessary sometimes, right? So fasting doesn't mean that you starve yourself for the rest of your life, right? Fasting does not mean that you starve yourself for the rest of your life. So when we're fasting, we want to do it for a short amount of time. We want to do it for, some people do it for a day, some people do it for 3 days, some people do it for a week. I've even heard of people that do it for like 40 days for like Lent. They fast 40 days. A lot of times that's like a liquid diet. If you're fasting for 40 days, I would hope so. But you have to do it according to your own specific energy, body. You have to research yourself before you can do something like that. Fasting from people can really help bring yourself back to yourself. Because when we're paying attention to what everybody else is doing, it's very easy to get annoyed and it's very easy to get frustrated because other people are not going to live their lives in the way that we think is the right way to live our lives, right? And there are a lot of people out there that think that they know the right way everybody should be living their lives. So sometimes it's good to fast from people. Sometimes it's good to fast from the environment that you work in, taking a vacation. Sometimes it's good to fast from the environment that you live in, maybe going to stay with a friend, or maybe going on a short trip to a bed and breakfast for a weekend, or going somewhere just to get out of the environment from that you live in. Taking time for yourself and removing yourself from the situations that you're in give you an opportunity to see outside of your life. If everything outside of you is irritating you, that means that you need to go in. You need to go inward, because you're not going to be able to change what's going on outside. The only way that you're going to be able to change what's going on outside of you, if you make choices to remove yourself from it. Am I wrong? I mean, like, am I wrong about that? The only way that you can change what's happening on the inside is by you making certain choices for your life, right? And so getting together with yourself and going within. And there are some things that I'm going to be doing. Like I've right now I'm gathering things together to start working on how to fully embody yourself, your whole self, your body. And we're going to be doing some of those classes on Patreon to work on really fully embodying yourself, because it's such a gift to know who you are. And when you fully know who you are, the things outside of you don't bother you as much, because you look at that and you're like, oh, wow, well, that doesn't affect my life. And if it does affect my life, I can do things to change it, because I'm going to take accountability for that. I can't change what other people are doing, but I can absolutely change what I'm doing in my own life. It may take time, but I can do it because I'm a grown woman and I know that I can, right? So that's really a lot of what this weekend's energy is kind of taking us down that route of, like, it's fine if you want to be angry about life. If, anger is a natural emotion, but what you're feeling is, it did not stem from anger. It stemmed from something else: frustration, sadness, pain. Sometimes acceptance creates anger, shame can create anger, blaming can create anger, resentment, bitterness, all of that, all of that can, like, bring on the rage and bring, there's always something that triggers that anger, right? And so you really have to pay attention to it. And we're all sort of in the same boat here, right? We all sort of have to look at this in the same way. And so really when we think about that, the best way to help humanity is by us being that one stitch, right? If we're trying to put humanity back together, we can only do it one stitch at a time. And so by focusing on what we need to do to heal ourselves, so that we're not putting more bitterness, anger, and rage and frustration and all of that out into the world, that's just one little spoke in the wheel. But imagine if everybody did that. We talk about that all the freaking time. Like, what if everybody got on the same level? Not everybody's going to get on the same level, and that's the point. If everybody was on the same level, it would be a really boring existence. So today we have that Mercury square Jupiter, and this is helping us to make long-term plans. And this is helping us to be able to see past the current outside weather, if you will, and allowing ourselves to expand and open up and be more willing to see the clarity of it all, right? Not the best transit to act on getting it done, but this Aquarius new moon is opening up and expanding us in a lot of ways, and in most ways it's going to be mental, and not necessarily physical right now. So really allowing yourself to kind of see, like, what you want to see for your future. So as we get further into the evening, we'll see the moon will sextile Jupiter, and then overnight, see, this evening, I think this evening is going to be a little bit more pleasant with that moon sextile Jupiter. And then overnight, just kind of floating. That moon is sort of just floating along, floating along. There's just, yeah, floating along. Then tomorrow morning, we will not see anything with that moon until later on in like midday. The moon will sextile Uranus on Sunday. And then we will see the moon sextile Venus on Sunday. And then join Neptune overnight. So just like this Pisces moon weekend, see this right here, the moon is sextile Venus and it's like overnight, like way late at night. So just this like with the moon sextile Venus in Pisces and the moon sextile Uranus in Taurus, it's just there's so much healing that can happen for you in particular this weekend. And I really, my opinion about things I have a lot of opinions about things, but my opinion is that humans overcomplicate life in a lot of ways. And we also pay attention to what other people are doing so much more than we should. Hold on a second. Sorry. I gotta hold on 1 second for me. Sorry. Henry texted me, and normally the texts come through so I can hear them, even if I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and I didn't hear it. So I wanted to make sure that nothing serious. Promise. All right. So let's see what kind of energy we have for the weekend. Oh, there's a couple that fell. I love these. Oh, this is wonderful. All right. So this is kind of what I was talking about for this weekend energy, you guys. Voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you is the first oracle energy. And the other one is finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. This is what I was talking about. I feel like going inward it's going to be the best. Wow, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Going inward will always be the best decision to make. Always, 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 no matter what. There's when in doubt, go inward every single time, getting yourself grounded and being in the present moment, which is one of those things that we're going to be talking about with the embodying your full body and feeling that wholeness in Patreon. I'm also going to be offering my Astrology 101 course. I actually taught it in 2021 to a really amazing group of individuals, and I'm going to be offering that again in Patreon as well. So if you'd like to be a Patreon member, it's going to be like a monthly thing. Like I'm going to try and do it a little slowly, and I just want to help people learn their charts and learn their astrology. So I thought maybe that would be a good way to do it. So that stuff is all coming up, and that is the best way to support me right now. Or you could get a reading as well. I do have February openings still available, and my March calendar is also open if you'd like to get readings in March and solar returns and all of that. So I love you guys, and I do hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope that you can find some peace with everything that's going on and with life right now. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.